Okay, and now moving on.
Yeah,
The spoiler
let's
section.
jump into the spoiler section
We'll
here.
do a little BS buffer so you guys have a chance to escape here.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yay,
If
spoilers!
you want to watch this in all its ridiculousness, go do that right now and come back later.
Yeah, go watch it. Just stop. No. Actually, don't stop watching this video. Put it on
female
mute.
character sucks. I hate her.
So if
I don't mean the manager. I mean the other one.
No, we all get it. But if you're planning on watching it, put this on mute. Let it play through and go watch it. But
so we get that view.
So we get that one view. Anyway, no kidding. We don't need it.
People deserve to
kinda
die. That's all I know.
Okay, so let's start there. I guess characters.
I think we talked about flamenco quite a bit, so
Yeah.
We'll come back to
go to Goto for a little bit.
I think it's time to jump to Goto-san.
Yeah. We're not even gonna start where you're gonna start with.
What? Oh no.
You don't want to start with
Goto gets introduced first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start earlier.
Well, okay. We'll start earlier on this anime with the main characters. Again, the main two are Hazuma Masayoshi, I believe, and Goto. I don't know his full name because it's long.
They're a great couple.
It's Goto something, and they most definitely are.
Not in my canon, but anyway.
Hey.
Head canon.
And spoiler alert, they proposed at the end.
Yeah.
Through a romance, guys. They make it.
No, there isn't.
There's not.
There's all the bromance.
It's such a bromance story.
It's very much a bromance story less than a romance.
I mean,
but
people,
it's highly enjoyable.
Yes, there are people who will take it that way. It's not surprising.
There's always people that.
But for at least for me, with just the inkling that possibly he ends up with the manager, I would say it's the best romance story ever. It's such a bromance story. Like, what did you guys think about? Like, I'll talk about my piece later. But what did you think about just the relationship between those two characters from beginning?
Our main two.
Which reminds me, you didn't see the beginning.
I didn't see the first two episodes. I've heard synopsis about them, but I have not physically seen
the beginning.
them myself.
It starts with, sorry for a little synopsis, just to fill Dawson in here. Basically, the beginning is Goto-san is coming out like a convenience store. He's walking down an alley, and he turns and he just sees
Samurai
Flamenco naked in the alleyway, and he goes.
His costume's like, what is it?
It was dirty. It was
dirty.
ripped. It was ripped because he got punched by the drunk guy. Basically, he sees Samurai Flamenco just sitting there naked, and Samurai Flamenco's like, "I'm not a weirdo. I'm a hero," and that just spirals their relationship from there.
That takes the whole thing.
And basically, like,
I can imagine that.
Yeah, basically,
humble
just
beginnings.
He just invites him over.
He invites him over,
chill, watch videos and stuff,
and then they become friends. They just become friends, and then you
have superhero videos. Not Netflix.
But
fun superhero videos.
Not Netflix and chill. No, but and then he just shows the love for superheroes, and you kind of get that kick-ass vibe from it, starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
But how did you like the relationship between those two characters?
I thought it was highly enjoyable to see the two of them interact together.
Yeah, I mean, there's even
they had a good dynamic. They're both very, very different.
Yeah.
Like, as much as Goto is quiet and keeps things to himself,
and
he's
then
still
you have the opposite, which is Hazuma, who is more open and talking about everything.
But they're such, like, good friends at every single moment except one fucking moment. But, which I'll get to later.
But I kind of, like, even when the relationship drops off, like, in the middle of the anime, because Hazuma's out with the Flamengers and then Goto's just
but they're still
chilling.
good friends.
Yeah, but he still is able to turn to him at times.
Yeah, there's just that one time when they decide for convenience to suddenly go, oh no, they're not as good friends as you thought they were. This for the listeners, the moment he's talking about is at the very end, where near the very end, where basically it comes out the secret about Goto-san's girlfriend. Which, it's like, not only is he a crazy person, he doesn't believe you, and he thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, okay, I think we need to talk about that. Like, they might as well do it now rather than later, because that's a huge, important thing.
In my opinion, is that he was still, like, a little unhinged from the earlier events. And this is a very touchy subject to him, and he doesn't want to touch on top of it.
But it had nothing to do with his girlfriend at the beginning. He's just like, yo, there's someone trying to kill me. And you realize, oh, there's a little kid. I find that hard to believe. And it's like, dude, you just fought a fucking alien.
No, but that was the hard part to believe.
That's the thing, is even though they explain it in the show by having Goto say, oh, we fought aliens and
It's
stuff.
like they
There's
were
no way a kid's
satiring
gonna
it.
be after you. It's like, no, if you fought aliens and stuff, you know exactly how weird things can be in this world.
It's like the
And you're gonna believe your friend. You've believed him at every single turn up to this point. Why would he suddenly go back on that? I don't know.
You know how in the satire they go, oh, I might be a kitty rapist, but saying something mean towards girls is wrong, right? When you say something like that, you're satiring it. You mean the exact opposite thing. And that's totally what it sounded like Goto was saying. He goes, oh, we fought monsters this time, but now I don't understand that a little kid's attacking you. I don't know. It really seemed like they did it for, like, plot convenience there. They had to build, like, fake... there's definitely a better way they could have done that. And still led to even the exact same scene, and it would have been fine.
It was just... I think that was just one of the bits, but, like, that led into the girlfriend bit, and then that's what created the tear. Was not really... That was the what's it called? The fire starter. No, that was the flint, and then the other thing was the fire starter.
Yeah, I think it just could have been handled better. I think they had the ability to handle it better, and I don't know why they chose to go with that, but
everything else
it was just slightly awkward when everything else around it was much better than that at that point in time.
True. I mean, again, that's just my opinion. I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, oh, man, this is great.
It was just such a sore point, because up to this point, they're such great friends. Goto is like the go-to guy. I think Goto.
The go-to guy.
There's like a part where he's being chased by literally everyone in the world. The entire world is turned against him, and he's just going, oh, do I go to Goto? Will he turn me in? And he gets there, and Goto goes, took you fucking long enough, you idiot. Why didn't you just come here in the first place?
And they're like, it's them against the world at
yeah,
that
it's like,
point
I would
for a
never
little
turn
bit.
against you. That's the point. I don't know.
I mean, I try to make that argument. I mean, I would have to, again, rewatch that scene, like, scene for scene, to, like, really see, like, my own opinions of it, just because I really want to, like, in my head, I want to think about that more. But the way I took it when I originally is Goto-san jokingly made a sarcastic comment, and Hazama took it the wrong way.
I didn't see it as very sarcastic, though. Yeah, I mean...
Well,
he
because
he told him to go home and take a rest.
Because he could tell that he was stressed out, and, like, he was not sleeping as much. And sometimes that's just, sometimes you gotta go take a rest, maybe refresh your mind.
Plus, before Hazama started mentioning the whole girlfriend point, Goto's dead girlfriend, or supposedly dead girlfriend.
Oh my god, there was a moment where I saw that and I was sad, and then a week later I thought about it and I got sadder.
Quick explanation. He's texting a girl throughout the entire...
no, he's texting...
Goto is texting...
Yeah, he's texting his girlfriend.
A quote-unquote girlfriend throughout the entire time, but then at the like, the third to last episode, you realize it's not actually his girlfriend. He's been texting himself. His girlfriend's, like, disappeared.
She's most likely dead.
Pretty much dead.
She's most likely... Okay, when a bus driver and a girl disappear, she's dead.
But all her stuff was left on the bus. Ooh.
She's dead.
She's pretty much
No, if she
dead.
took the stuff, she'd be more likely to be... Anyways, so he's texting himself because he's lonely, and you don't really understand that till the end, and it's this big reveal, which is pretty nice.
It's an interesting reveal.
But the other subplot that's going on, it could have been a great subplot, but that just gets ruined with it. Anyways, so let's go back, kind of backtrack to the characters again.
Yes.
We kind of did a full analysis on Goto. He's the stern guy, but he has like a nice, like a kind of fun side. There's points when he like joins in on the fun.
Oh man, that part where he just becomes Flamenger, police officer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the best. I was so hyped.
But yeah, so that's him. He's a great character. The lead character is a great character. They make a great couple. Again.
You mean great bro couple.
Oh, I don't know, man.
They're partners.
Yeah, man.
They're partners in
partner.
partners in the same sense.
Once you
Yosuke and
propose,
MC.
dude, you're not bromancing anymore.
He doesn't understand. The whole point of that ending is he doesn't understand.
I'm joking. Stop killing the microphone. Look at that. Look at all those bars. Anyways, no. Okay, let's move on to worst girl or best girl.
To the
trio. Let's just go
Yeah.
straight to the trio.
Okay, so I guess we'll go in importance. Yeah. Next we have Flamenco
Diamond.
Ruby, and Sapphire.
Yep.
or Flamenco Girl to start.
Flamenco Pokemon.
And her little friends.
Her band members, which are the stars of every ending.
Yeah.
Every ending credit scene. There's 2 of them or 3?
Yes, there's 2.
The second one gets a bit creepier than the first.
Really?
I don't even remember.
The second one's kind of creepy. I don't know why I got that vibe.
I think you find it creepy because it's the
Yeah.
it's like
All the
wooden
doll
dolls.
things.
They
The
had
wooden
these
dolls.
little, like, paper-looking dolls that are just kind of robotally swinging
It
around.
just reminded me of the book from JoJo.
Yeah, you're right.
What is that called?
The prophecy book. I can't remember.
Boingo.
Toth?
Oingo and Boingo.
Yeah, I'm going.
But anyways, so these 3 characters, they're kind of the shitlords of the show.
I like
They're
I
meaner
like
than
Ruby.
most of the
No,
villains.
no.
I enjoyed Flamenco
Oh, sorry, the
Ruby.
main girl.
I like
The
I
main
like
girl's
Moe.
the
Okay.
shit
I like
girl.
Moe.
The main girl's
Moe
the shit.
got on
I
my nerves.
apologize for that.
Sapphire, I love Sapphire. I didn't like her at first because of her voice, and then I turned around on her and I was like, Sapphire's the best.
The other girls just kind of follow her along because they think she's cool.
Well, no, because Mizuki knows that they have talent, and then Moe's in love with Mari, so
Yeah.
that's the only.
Yeah, I've always got a hard-on for the main girl.
That clitoris is so hard, though. Anyway, no, but you kind of get an introduction to her. She, again, it really keeps with the whole kick-ass thing for a while. You see her, and she's like, oh, she's the more
She's like
confident
Hit Girl.
warrior.
She's like Hit Girl.
Yeah, except then she turns out to be like an asshole just doing this for fun and attention.
She's mainly just bored,
Yeah.
and
So,
she wants
as
to fight because
yeah.
she finds it fun.
Yeah,
It's
as
something
Hazama does it
interesting
because he's
to
a
do.
hero.
Yeah,
You see the flip side of the coin is she's doing it because she wants to have fun.
yeah.
And
She's
like,
like, this looks like
and she
fun.
doesn't. She's not afraid to drag people with her.
And
Yeah.
then she gets bored real fast of like all the stuff going on.
Yeah, like
And-
that moment in like episode 7 where they're just like, "Wow, everything's better now. I guess
This
we're like,
sucks.
I guess everything's boring.
Yeah.
Oh shit."
And that kind of
Yeah.
leads them to more and more like dangerous situations.
No, that was one of my favorite parts of this anime. Is literally what like every time the characters are like, "Wow, we're bored. New plot point, no else."
Well, there's a reason for that. It's some stupidest bullshit.
Well, the best
explanation
Best reason.
because he said the word flamenco.
Flamenco.
It basically grants you a wish. But what's weird is it's not actually. It doesn't seem to be him who's wanting more. Like maybe subconsciously, but he never mentions that he's upset with what he's doing.
I don't know. I think that reason's bullshit to begin with, so I don't really want to try to delve too deeply
I love that
into
reason.
this.
That was such a cool
I
reason.
think that reason was a means to the end. At the third, I don't know. Again, I think the last 3 episodes is really the thing that played on that whole point. But I don't know. If you're just kind of for the ride until you get the answer, if that's why you're here, you're going to be disappointed. Because the answer itself is disappointing. But then what they do with it afterwards is actually interesting. Because it goes, you wanted to be this type of hero, you want to be this type of hero, you want to be this type of hero, and now you didn't want to be it, but now I'm going to try and make you a tragic hero. Like a different person jumps in and goes, yeah, now you're going to be a tragic hero. It's a link to all the stuff that happened before. I don't know, but Samurai Flamenco's wanting this like subconsciously, while Flamenco Girl, whatever her name is, wants to like totally. She's very vocal about what she wants, and she's always pushing the issue and like kind of screwing up. And you know how there's always like the side character who wants to get in on the action, and like they used to be stronger, but now they get like a significant power deboost.
Yeah.
She's sort of like that, but it's
because she has major PTSD.
Yeah, I don't know. She's sort of like that, and I wish they would have actually shown her fight against the first real villain.
Oh, King Torture?
Yeah, they didn't show that at all.
Yeah, they just cut to her being like...
Which is kind of bullshit in my opinion, but what I actually did find interesting about King Torture is, as the main villain, he said, you know, you're a despicable human being, right?
Yeah. Like, you're doing this not for the right reasons. You're doing this for the wrong reasons.
Completely
You're saying, hey, like, save yourself because you want to be like those heroes. And that's what I liked about it, is like, again, it kind of touches upon those characters are like, oh, go save yourself. No, you're saying that because that's what everyone else would say. You know that they're not gonna go save themselves. They're gonna save you. You know that, and that's like one of the that's one of the little things that the little details that I liked about it. Where like you have that moment, then you have the moment where it's like, oh, why are all the villains blowing up? It's because it's for an overall bigger plot.
That was sort of a deconstruction, I guess.
Sort of, yeah. Okay, so the main reason, the way I felt watching through Samurai Flamenco is those first 6 episodes or so, I felt was highly enjoyable and interesting and fun. And then from that point, it starts breaking off into these
crazy, ridiculous
it
story
builds and builds and builds on itself, switching genres, switching basically action hero type settings.
So from Kick-Ass to superhero
Hero
to Power Rangers to Gurren Lagann.
He's in
Dai
space
Gurren.
fighting an alien in a huge version of himself. And throughout that whole thing, in the beginning, I liked it because I genuinely liked the show. In the middle section, I was either laughing because of how dumb it was, or I was cringing because of how dumb it was. And there were times when I really enjoyed that, and there were times like the alien fight scene where it kind of put me off for a while, and I wasn't quite as into the show for as much. But finally, when it gets to that point and it gives you the stupid explanation of, this is my opinion on why it's dumb, but just the word flamenco happens to be connected with a way that there's a tiny % chance that somebody using the word flamenco will have their wish granted, and his wish was granted, and he got to be an action hero, basically. Mm-hmm. But after that happens, it goes into the whole 3 episodes we've been talking about for a while, where things seem to get very serious.
You mean they do get serious?
No, this is the thing. You think they get serious, and I thought they got serious, and I didn't like that as much because so much of the rest of the show had been silly and wasn't serious. And that's why initially I was having problems with the whole 3-episode arc, is because of how serious it felt. Like, he's going around and he's losing people left and right.
People
are not believing him. People are
He thinks he's going crazy. There's the moment where he's contemplating suicide to end this
all alone. Nobody believes him, and he's completely isolated at that point. And all the whole lead up to that initially was just making me angry, because it seemed like, not angry, but it seemed like it was trying so hard to be serious, and that contrasted so much with what it had previously done. Plus, also, it didn't feel completely serious. I don't know, but once we got, I forget what the specific line was, but there was one line, I think it was
basically when like they go, I want to turn you into Batman.
wanted to turn you into a tragic hero. The scene's set up like it's straight out of a Batman flick. I was like, okay, this entire thing up to this point had been building this one character through different genres of herodom.
Until the punchline in the last episode.
Until finally, in the last episode, the punchline of, okay, now he's a tragic hero. And that took that whole serious section, and for me, took the seriousness out of it, because it was purely to make him into a tragic hero, so he could complete the cycle of going through all the different heroes, which I thought was great, and it fixed the problems I had with how serious things felt up to that point, when previously everything had been so silly and over the top. And it just tied everything together, and that whole last episode was just so much fun to watch, too. Especially seeing our main character, like, flounder in a situation he has absolutely no idea
what's your final weapon? Love. Fuck. I don't know how to use that.
I don't know how to use love. What the fuck is love? He starts on my favorite part of possibly the whole show. Sorry. My favorite part of possibly the whole show is at one point, at the very last episode, our main bad guy at that point is like, okay, take off your clothes and get into this suit. And he starts taking off his clothes, and I'm like, okay.
The suit is the flamenco suit.
The suit is the flamenco suit. And I was thinking to myself, the only way I'm going to think this is amazing is if he doesn't get into the suit and just takes off his clothes. And he did it beyond what I expected. He went past, he took off the
boxers,
and he faces him bare naked.
Starts, like, professing his love to these characters. And you just go, you're so wrong.
He
Oh
has
my God, you're
no
so
idea
wrong.
what he's doing, and
This is
it's
the
the
best.
greatest thing. He's just so out of his element as a supposed tragic hero at this point, and it was so much fun to watch.
Desperately linking this back to Flamenco Girl, she does not get much character development through the series. She gets like one thing of, oh, I'm an asshole, and now I don't want to be an asshole anymore, and that's about it. And then
She starts to appreciate her friends more.
you don't even see her. She shows up for plot convenience in the last episode. She just goes, it's just like, oh, I hope Gozo doesn't kill this guy. Oh, don't worry, she'll show up and stomp his balls for a bit, and then we'll be cool.
I felt like it's not a lot, but she starts to appreciate her friends more. Like that's what I took away from her is that you start off as like she's very like I could be the only one here. I'm the only person. Everyone else is along in the ride, and then she goes from that to no, I care about my friends more.
I just didn't see anything likable in her.
Oh no, I don't disagree with you. She's very unlikable, but still, I actually saw like a little bit of
I
development.
sort of cheered for her friends. They sort of had some like goodness to them. I don't know.
I only cheered for Ruby. Moe really got on my nerves. I don't know what it was about
It was
her.
probably the voice.
No, it wasn't the voice.
I think it's the same
thing.
reason that I don't like fan service.
It might be the same reason that I don't know.
Oh my god.
I have a problem with blind, eerie characters.
Blind.
I'm blindly in love. Because
But some characters are just like that in real life.
yeah,
Some people, characters.
I don't
Fuck.
know. It's just a specific
Fiction and
character
non-fiction.
type that really gets on my nerves.
I enjoyed Sapphire like more than the other three, so I guess that's just me.
Moving
Yeah.
on to the decent girl character.
We're all different.
Oh, the best manager, yeah. See, that's why I said in my headcanon, like at some point, like maybe, hopefully.
His manager sort of acts like someone to kind of keep him on the straight path.
Yeah,
So it's
if like Goto's like the straight man, she's
like the mom, honestly.
yeah, she's like the mom, where she like kind of like whips him into shit, like whips him back into shape, like, hey, you're going off path.
Yeah, try to like not fuck up your life while
Yeah,
you're doing all this shit.
tone it down. She's the reality check.
She's the reality check.
And it's really funny because like she'd probably be like a really annoying character if she didn't have someone trolling her the whole time.
Oh yeah, that was another great character dynamic in this show. Is her and
Akono, yeah.
Akono, yeah.
The like
the big TV exec.
yeah, the TV executive. I just want to be entertained. Like,
Constantly looking for a scoop. Just
Now he's
so he can
proposing
find-
all the time.
He is also constantly proposing to her, trying to get her to go out with him.
no, and then at the end she's like, "Man, you're being too nice." No, that's just not getting me. Sorry.
I can't do
controlling me. But yeah, those two have a pretty good like dynamic together. Honestly, everyone in the main character has the best dynamic, but that's
Yeah.
what's expected.
Mhm.
But her and the TV exec have a pretty good, like I guess, chemistry as well. He's a really interesting character in that he's almost her opposite. He wants the world to go fucking crazy.
Yeah, he wants to see the world burn.
He's not even a bad guy, but like
He just wants to be entertained.
yeah,
like-
when the torture guy like captures him and goes, you have a good spirit, but you have one weakness. You want to be entertained.
Yeah, and then that's the whole reason why he like that whole situation spirals out of control. It's because he's like,
It
you're
would be
right.
so much more interesting.
So
if
much more
this
interesting.
happened.
So
Like I like that where they go, you can die a martyr, and your news will be there for like a day.
yeah, he shows up a
Or
bit too much for plot convenience for my taste, but it's fun to see him around. He's a cool guy to save the day.
Yeah, I'll take it.
yeah, like that moment at the end where he's just holding the camera and he's like, "Yeah, I got all of this on film."
There we go. Also, someone we should talk about is Kaname. His name is?
Red Axe.
Yeah, Red Axe.
Yeah, Red Axe is the best.
Nasty.
No, okay. So here's the thing that I was going to bring up to you guys that I was really interested. So now that you know the whole fact that basically Hazuma's will is basically changing reality.
It preemptively made it so that all the superheroes are real.
Yeah,
but I don't think it didn't do that until that moment. I think they didn't actually have the power until that moment.
Until his will wanted it to be. Like, I would actually think that originally Red Axe was just that dude who
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to go off to Africa to go shoot this other thing. Good luck. And then just pieces out.
Yeah, and it's almost like he was an actor that they wanted to go, okay, now you get in here and you're going to take charge of the Power Rangers group,
Yeah.
right? They kind of, it's like almost the way a director would do it.
Mm.
I assume what's happening is like the wish is just grabbing a person and going, no, now you get in this spot and take this role.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think that like a lot of the events like later on that are like the backstory of people is changing because of Hazuma's will? And now here's the question that I'm going to go back to. Do you think at some point that girlfriend was alive?
What?
For Goto?
Goto-san.
No.
Do you, like... Because I could totally see it.
I don't think so, because it doesn't become relevant until after he becomes free of...
I know, but what if it's something that was set up in the beginning, that the will started changing in the beginning?
No, because it already said all your wishes are done.
Yeah.
You've made it through each of your wishes. Otherwise, it would have happened even before the whole alien thing.
Okay. I'm just putting it out there, like, is there a possibility
I don't think
like,
there's some, like, arbitrary time that's, like, before the very last wish is done with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would have had to have been the case regardless of whether the wish happened or not.
Because one of my arguments is, like, Kazuma needed Goto-san to be there, and he can't, like, and he has a girlfriend that would take up time, create tragic backstory, girlfriend's not actually there, so he can never see her.
No, because they said it's been, like, a lot longer that he hasn't seen his girlfriend.
I know, but remember what I said.
Before they meet.
Remember what I said is that what if his will... Because his will was basically changing the past as well.
See, here's the thing, though. It didn't actually seem to preemptively change the past for everyone else. All the heroes in their superhero shows, they would have been noticed before that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that they wouldn't have been noticed for being real superheroes if they actually had those powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even one of them, right? He got internet famous in, like, half a day because someone posted a video of him online. Yeah. That shit would happen so easily if, like, the world was filled with superheroes. And when every superhero has a show...
You're basically saying that it's, like, it's changing it only at the specific moment.
It goes, yeah, we all happen to be at the same time, but it doesn't really go back in time and kind of change the past.
That was just an argument that I was putting out there that I was thinking about at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
But that's assuming that everything is actually all connected perfectly, which you can't actually do in an anime. A lot of times stuff like that won't work in a story.
Yeah, true.
You can't perfectly connect everything without making at least a few mistakes. Most shows have that issue.
Yeah, but then when you think about the reality of his actual girlfriend, it's really sad.
Yeah.
I like... Again, like I said earlier, like I thought about it, like I saw it, I got really sad, I kind of teared up a bit, and then a week later I thought about it and got even sadder. I was like...
Yeah, at the end they don't give like a happy ending. Like,
yeah.
They're content with where they are.
Yeah.
But they're not really, getting anything that they've been...
Yeah, like the girlfriend doesn't just suddenly show up and be like, I'm alive the whole time.
It's like, yay.
And he got his little fantasy, but that doesn't make him any more, like, grown up in a way.
Yeah, his fantasies ended at this point. He's got to live with what's left after that.
Yeah, he's totally going to be president.
The president of the world.
He's like a child celebrity at this point. Like, you used to be really big, but now you don't really make a difference. The only difference is people actually listen to you when you go, hey, pick up that garbage.
Yeah, moving on from that, like, what's another one of those supporting cast?
We can move on to the Flamenders.
Yeah, the Flamenders, because I was going to go to...
Oh, wait, no, first the scientist.
The scientist, I was about to say the scientist.
The scientist is
great.
great.
The scientist is great. Like,
what's his name?
I don't remember.
Basically, he makes pencils and erasers and stuff, but they're like super powered, crazy shit that like sort of acts like non-lethal weapons.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that is because like what I like about like those characters is that they're all fanboys, that they all grew up watching these shows, and then they're like, hey, you're doing this superhero thing? Let's follow like the leads of the thing. And so he goes, hey, here are all these weapons, totally 100% legal.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing any bad by using these weapons.
I've designed them to be practically like a strangely complicated self-defense kit.
Man, that
made out of
the measuring
never
tape.
Pull you over.
Yeah,
the measuring tape,
dude.
the tacks that like disintegrate after a certain amount of time. Like
everything's perfectly created to be as legal as possible,
as needed.
I think he has that really good moment where he's just like, yo, I'm one of the side characters. This is what I'm This is what I'm supposed to do.
This is why one moment to be in the spotlight and to fight here, and I need to say my line. Go on and fight the battle. I'll stay behind here.
That's what I love about it, is because even though it gets kind of ridiculous in that middle part, is you basically have a bunch of fanboys in like as the main heroes, and basically they know all those TV shows in the past. They watched it, and so they were kind of conforming to the tropes because they were so excited to be a part of them.
Yeah.
Again, with the Flamengers, where all of them ended up being the different colors. They all started as red, and
that
then
was totally just a play on the Power Rangers. Though.
But then they go to the different Rangers, and then it's just Blue is just I don't agree with you being a leader, and they're like, that's exactly what Blue would say.
Yeah,
and I love that because it's just
I know, but I feel like all they're doing there is just they're keeping jokes going.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it is because there was some sort of charm about watching these people be superheroes and just living it up and just being this is exactly what I always wanted. It's if at least one of us turned out to ended up and being a hero or something. Tell me you wouldn't just start doing super tropey stuff just to do it.
For shits and giggles.
Yeah, just to
it's
have
like
some
you,
fun.
if you've read so much of it, it's something so dear to you.
Yeah,
I'd probably do something
exactly with the Green Ranger being super smart and always propping up his glasses. The black one always fiddling around with weapons. Pink being a female and doing all the girly things, and then Blue you Red. I wish I was the leader. And then Red being the new guy, always coming in and being the leader, and everyone's why is the new guy the leader?
It's because he has the mindset that none of us can.
Exactly.
None of us can match.
Just playing on tropes. Yeah. It was fun.
And that's what I loved about the charm of it, in that middle section where, it was for you guys it was kind of maybe a slog, but for me I was enjoying because of just the charm of, these characters living their dreams, and just, yeah, I would do that.
I wouldn't say it was so much slog for me at that point, because the fight scenes I felt were actually, better at that point.
Well, yeah, because they had all the cool equipment and stuff like that.
The Megazord fights were as shit as usual Megazord
well,
fights.
Yeah, of course, you can't fix that.
Yeah. For me, the only part that was really rough was the alien flamenco part.
Sit down.
That part was pretty rough for me to get through.
Yeah,
I was God damn it.
left in our watching after that. You were just I need to just leave.
I can't watch more after that.
I love the moment.
It brought it around, though.
I did love the moment where me and you just started quoting Metal Gear Solid Revengeance, because literally that was scene for scene, that final boss fight.
When you're fighting a senator, I mean...
when you were fighting...
the Prime Minister.
Yeah, when you're fighting the Prime Minister, and they get, ultra super equipment, and then they start drop-kicking you and telling you how better they are than you, and trying to, make you a voter and try to sell you your vote, it becomes the best thing ever.
The political boss fight.
The political boss... Nanomachine Son, it's just fantastic. I love the villains in it, because, each villain kind of had, again, that sort of, King Torture was that, that he was also... He's the Garo, where he's, that dude who grew up watching superhero films, but the villains more than the superheroes.
I love, before how... Sorry, I feel like it's almost a waste to, give an explanation to the end, because they try to explain it in every...
piece by piece.
Yeah, in every scene they try to explain it to you in just a way that you would never believe.
Yeah.
They're, desperately struggling. They're oh, now we have 120 whatever men, and they're yeah, see, it's this complicated math problem with, a pyramid scheme and stuff. And it's just, they keep adding shit on. And I'm not sure if there's ever a moment where the characters just go, I don't fucking know why that's there. I think it's with the alien. They just give up and try to explaining everything. They just go, I guess there's an alien now.
Yeah, they don't even,
just roll with it.
That's what I liked about it, where they kind of, piece by piece, they're just okay, why is King Torture there? It's because he's a dude who loves supervillains. Okay, why is From Beyond there? It's because they gave the power to King Torture, so they helped him develop. And then From Beyond is this super organization that was yo, we're gonna take over the world, and King Torture was just the first step. And then they defeat From Beyond, and they go, okay, now there's the pyramid.
There's a bigger group of From Beyond.
Why? Because just so that there's more villains. And then it's you get from the really
and it's every leader of a country is an alien, but there's only one alien. It's what? Well, that doesn't make any sense.
How does this work?
I did enjoy the little meta moment, though, during the alien part, where he just, the post-alien part, when he meets God, where basically he just goes, yeah, what happens if I, like, you know, just decide to go back home and live a peaceful life? He's like, you know, your story will be wrapped up, put into a DVD, and then be sold in different, like, video stores. I was like,
in different universes.
That's fantastic, because why are we watching this? It's because some dude in a different universe lived out his dream.
They had to explain everything in whatever way they could.
And I love that, I love it where, like, even if it's the stupidest explanation, you at least did the effort to explain.
Still, one amazing thing they didn't explain is how the fuck did that kid disappear?
Who?
The middle school kid. When he's like, am I really real? And then he swims to him and the kid's no longer there.
Oh, they never did explain
even
that.
Though the kid totally exists, he's not going crazy.
It's confirmed. We've seen up to the end.
But
I'm pretty sure there's that moment where his head goes underwater, and so he sees that and literally bolts out of there. Because, like,
he has like one of those the balloons from Metal Gear Solid that shoots him into space.
Bolts up into space. Or he just jumps in the water and like lays on the ground and holds his breath and
like,
hopes that Flamenco leaves
there's
quickly.
so many different ways you can explain that, like, but I just really enjoyed where, like, they took the effort to write an explanation in, because most shows don't do that. They go, why is that there? Just believe it's there. Why are there giant mechs? Just believe it, like.
Yeah, it's fun when they don't try to go like, oh, there's zirconium, eximum, xenon that we found in the ground, and if you combine it with gold and argon and blah blah blah, it creates a solution. No, they just go, oh fuck, no, it was this other crazy thing.
It was the alien.
It's like, yeah, but how do you explain the alien? It's like, no, because it was a fucking planet. But how do you explain the planet? No, there was a sun. And it's like, it's like trying to explain like what created God, and then it goes, well, that created God, and he goes, oh, okay, what created that? Well, that created that. It's just this chain. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and something even more unexplainable takes its place.
Yeah.
You can't really get
once they hit God, that's when they're like, okay, that's the end of the
four-dimensional being.
That's the end of the explanation there. Like,
which looks like Space Dandy's old girlfriend. That's a thing.
How'd you guys like the animation style?
The animation style was pretty good.
I like anything that's not just like generic anime animation.
Yeah, like Manga Globe does a good job with that. Like, Manga Globe.
I like when it's pretty, and it was pretty.
Yeah, there was pretty moments.
So my requirements have been met here.
There's a lot of good character designs, like.
Yeah, the characters look good. Everything was very sharp.
Yeah.
It wasn't
like, even the Flamengers design, like, they look like the really generic designs for, like, characters, but they were still, like, you know,
they
noticeable.
were supposed to be.
They were still noticeable. Oh, how did you like the part with Pink? And just, like, you guys didn't like Pink, but I was like, just wait till the relationship with the wife just comes in.
I like how she's constantly referenced as a pig. Because Pink, I don't know.
Pig.
Yeah. Like, how'd you like that little bit where it's just like the wife, it just sandbags.
It's a fun little occasional
sandbags her every single moment along the way.
Just doesn't even acknowledge.
Pink was an interesting character.
Well, the whole point about Pink
I'm
is
not sure if I should like Pink is the issue.
She's in love with Red Axe, and then like Red Axe has the wife, and then the wife is just like, why is she still around?
Who is this?
Why
this isn't bring your dog to work day.
Well, you need to go get plastic surgery. You're in the wrong ward.
Yeah, it made for some good jokes.
Yeah. That's where my appreciation of Pink started, whereas like they just started showing that. I was like, yeah, I enjoy that.
This shit talk.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Flamengers, Red Axe. Yeah, we touched
We
upon
can talk about the villains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who's your favorite villain?
Kid at the end.
Kid at the end.
Okay.
Wait, I'm trying.
Obviously, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, my favorite.
We can talk about.
Okay, my favorite though, like, is probably King Torture. Like,
he was good.
I love King Torture just for the part where literally it just goes, "I'm like you, but I went to the supervillain route instead of the hero route," and then they just started having like that really metal
argument and like, oh, I think the world's just as fucked up as you do, but totally communism's the way to go for that, or totally capitalism's the way to go, and it's just you have two solutions to the same problem, and yet you have to fight to the death.
Yeah,
trying to solve the same problem. It's weird.
But I love that moment where he just goes super metal, where he's talking to Hazma, and without even like yelling, wincing, or like in pain, just cuts off his arm. Just cuts it off, and then attaches the chainsaw.
Well, he's already part monster.
I know, but I just love that moment where he just like
Groovy.
nonchalantly just cuts off his hand
his own arm
and puts on the chainsaw and then blasts through the wall and just has the fight scene with him.
That was pretty enjoyable.
How about you, Connor? What was your favorite?
Please don't say the alien.
The alien.
Please don't say Alien Flamenco.
Flamenco's great though.
It wasn't terrible. I mean,
He was there for one
for
episode.
some obvious reasons, I really, really liked the Japanese
Prime Minister?
Prime Minister. He
Oh,
was my-
it's because he's basically the senator.
Well,
from...
it wasn't just that. Like, it was the build-up. He led to the whole, like, abandoned hero situation, and it was really cool.
Well, I remember reading the comments through while I was like watching this. Like I was reading the Crunchyroll comments. It's just you start off the Prime Minister as just a guy who's just sitting there with his arms crossed and just silently like they ask him a question and he just nods. That's all his position is that he just nods. And then eventually he starts talking. And then you start to hear him and you go, okay, that's cool. And then you get to the moment where he starts slapping Red Axe and you just go, okay, this guy, you know,
Damn.
And then the minute they save the world, it just goes, yeah, throw you all in jail.
Yeah. He was just using all you. I mean, I did enjoy the kid, but it was more like I enjoyed Samurai Flamenco's like interaction with him at the end.
That's true.
Because that's where like the humor came with. Whereas like the senator guy, like he was
Prime
evil.
Minister.
Prime Minister. He was evil.
He's not Senator Armstrong.
He had like he was going, oh, I was just trying to save Japan, but like he was trying to gain power and stuff. And he had a lot of depth to him. Like he was doing a lot of shitty things. There's different shitty things he did.
And it was all for the greater good, in his opinion.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he started off by screwing over the general populace and saying only the rich can get in. Then he screwed over all the heroes.
Yeah.
And said, yo, the heroes are faking it the whole time. And then he tried to screw over Samurai Flamenco, and like he tried to like beat the shit out of people. And at the very end, he goes, no, I was just doing it all for your help, for your good, you know?
Yeah.
He was fun.
For me, that's the equivalence of like King Torture, is how it starts off with a guillotine gorilla, and you go, oh man, this guy's scary. Next up, like, and then it's just as you progress, the more of his like minions come out, the more stupider it gets. Like to the part is he's fighting a walrus, and you're just like, what are you doing?
I'm passing out poison tissue.
It's like, no, it is so dumb.
And that's like, I love, like, again, that's again part of the charm where I was just like, because that was kind of leading into like again a little bit of the deconstruction of it, where
Stop slapping your leg.
the deconstruction of it is where, you know, hey, like, we start off here as like, oh no, monsters are here, and then people just get desensitized to the point that
like 3 monsters. It was weird how fast that happened.
it's because they saw like, oh, these guys aren't a threat. These guys aren't a threat. This guy is trying to put poison into the water supply to make people gossip. These guys are not a threat.
Yeah.
And I like that because, again, those, like, when you fight figure those characters out, it's like, oh, it's because, you know, they're super, like, they're people who are fans of supervillains, too. And they're just like, you know, this is the plot from, like, a Power Rangers show or something. Took it out. How about touching up on the music?
I mean, the openings were very enjoyable.
Yes.
The first is still my favorite, personally.
Yeah.
Specifically for that one section of the song where, like, the ship's taking off and, like,
The
manager's, like, banging on the window and the song breaks at that point. I think it's just such a cool little... Yeah, I'd sing it, but I can't sing. I don't know Japanese.
I do like that second opening just for, like... I do love Flow because of, like, all the other openings they've ever done. And just, like, there was just so much energy to it. I think it kind of reminded me of, like, the Trigun opening, just with the opening, like, guitar bit.
Like, the little guitar riff.
But, I mean, you don't really pay attention to music, but how about the music within the show?
Honestly, in Samurai Flamenco, I didn't really notice the music in the show.
So it's just me.
Which means it's... I usually take that to mean
it's pretty good.
It's decent.
It's decent.
It didn't detract from the show, and it obviously, I mean, it wasn't good enough that I attached myself to the soundtrack, but it was good enough that I didn't notice it, which means it was doing its job.
And they built the hype, okay.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, I told you guys about this. I feel that somebody on that, like, music team played Chrono Trigger and loves that soundtrack. Because there are so many of those tracks that is basically like a Chrono Trigger. You take a Chrono Trigger song and then remix it a bit. Because I swear I sat there going like, that's a Chrono Trigger song. That's another Chrono Trigger song. Yeah. And for an OST that I've listened to so much, it's very noticeable for me. But, I mean, the endings are just... We talked about the endings a bit, but ending...
The best part of the show, you mean?
It just... I remember when...
So, yeah, you ended at he got his clothes off. That's not where it ends. He takes his clothes off, and he goes, okay, the kid loves me so much that he's obsessing about me. That is, like, that's the puzzle he had to put together. So how does he get over it? He gets naked and goes, take me. Don't you want me? And shit like that. And the kid's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get off me.
And then Godo-san's about to shoot the kid, and he
goes,
just...
no, Godo, I love you too.
And he's like, I love you guys.
And then Godo's just like... Let's get married, and Godo's like,
I'll do all the stuff your girlfriend did for you.
That's not the point.
It's like, no, that's not how this works.
That's not how it works.
And like, this is as he's like blocking the kid from like Godo trying to kill him. Godo is bloodlust right now, and he's like proposing to him.
And I feel like it's just one of those moments where it's so stupid that he just has to put down the gun and just go.
But it works.
I can't.
It's so ridiculous that it does work.
It's like Dawson at the end of at the end of the Alien Flamenco. He just has to put down his stuff and just goes.
But it's ridiculous for a reason.
I can't.
Like, you can understand the character's like reasons for doing this, and it's not like Gojo goes, "Okay, I get it." He goes, "No, you're a fucking idiot, but I'm done. I just can't stand this anymore." Like you said, and that actually stops him from killing someone, which is great. I love the whole just like, okay, I'm just gonna take basically what reality has given me and kind of just go, okay.
Roll with it. Just
whatever.
Roll with it.
I'm done.
Wean himself off of his obsession.
I want to go home.
Yeah. And that leads us just, again, I enjoyed a lot of the messages about, like, what it means to be a hero in this show. It's never give up, never surrender, never give in. But...
Yeah, he keeps it through even when he's a tragic hero.
And be sure to not take your trash out until the day of. Don't take it out the night before, or rats will get in it.
No, it was the birds.
The birds will get to it.
No, I love the moment where it's like the callback to all those moments of like people like doing like the small like things, and he's riding his bike down the alleyway and he trips like the bike. He almost hits the garbage. He's like, "That's why you don't keep the garbage out at night."
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
Do you think the homeless guy was another callback to Batman? The homeless guy that he saved at the beginning?
Maybe.
Oh, that he later...
Yeah, oh dude, how is it for like those two characters that just, they show up for like a second in the first arc, and they come relevant in the later arcs?
Yeah, that was interesting.
The homeless guy, like when I saw the homeless guy when the Fugitive arc started, I went, oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the kid, I went, I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this kid to come back. Because, again, you didn't see it, but literally they linger on him standing there.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it again with you guys, when you watch that show over again, and you really pay attention, you notice he's everywhere.
He's always in the background.
He's always somewhere in that story. Like, there's a moment where, I think it's when he's already part of the Flamengers, and he's at the convenience store that, like, him and Goto-san always go to.
Yeah.
And he's looking at, like, oh, you can win, the Flamengers robot. The person who's talking about entering the drawing is the kid.
Huh.
He's dressed up in a suit and talking about the drawing. And that was the moment when I realized that. I was like, oh man, they thought about this ahead of time.
Yeah.
They really thought about this ahead of time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like callbacks to characters that have shown up before. It's cool to have people show up again later in the story.
Yeah. But to finally end this, last minute thoughts on Samurai Flamenco?
It was enjoyable. I would not have enjoyed it if I stopped halfway through, so I'm very glad I finished it.
Yeah. I'm like remember I told you, it's one of those shows you have to watch.
You have to finish.
You have to watch
or
all the way
else you're just not going to get it.
I love Samurai Flamenco. Everything about this show is something I love. You have Gurren Lagann. You have Wonderful 101. You have Revengeance. You just have so many great, moments where I literally, you guys heard me when I initially watched this. I was literally, hyperventilating of, oh my god, they're doing it. Connor?
I would say the show gets sadder as you think. The more you think about it at the end, honestly,
Oh,
the
yeah.
ending is so like mundanely sad. Like again, like I said, there's problems sort of get solved, but it's not like in any sort of cheesy way.
Yeah.
It's like they sort of got this little tiny push,
Well,
and maybe their life will get better.
Yeah, I mean, Goto-san,
He's still not over it. Yeah.
He's still not over it.
He's still texting himself.
But he's on the mends.
Yeah.
You could tell that
His
kinda
girlfriend's on vacation.
His girlfriend's on a long journey. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's going on a journey. And Hazuma, like, he's done the whole cycle. He's done being a hero, and then all he wants to do now is just, live his life. And then, occasionally if somebody litters, hey, don't litter.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's one of the few times when making a silly show like super super serious for no reason, or it wasn't for no reason, is why it works so well.
Mm.
But usually that wouldn't really work well.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, I don't give a shit about these characters. Why are you expecting me to like feel sorry for them? You really do. Like, it starts serious. I feel
Mm.
like it gets crazy in the middle, but it starts serious and then it gets crazy.
And then it ends serious.
Well, it's sort of in serious. The seriousness, I feel like, just is leading to a punchline, like we said before.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're gonna do like a mixture of serious and silly, that's like the right way to do it.
Mm.
You could like, I guess, go the stupid Naruto route where it's just like, oh, now we're not doing anything serious. We better kill time by being funny. I don't know.
Whew! I'm glad no one heard that.
I know.
There's a couple people that would get mad at you about that.
Jump out and attack.
Just start striking. And then do the pose, and then you're like, I'm Samurai Flamenco. But yeah, for me, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. This is one of my top 10 animes of all time now. Love it. Top 5, actually.
If you can sit through it the whole time, and then you like think about it afterwards, I feel like that's when you're gonna really enjoy it. But during the ride, you'll just be like, this is some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah. It's worth it for that last episode is how I feel.
I'd give it I don't know. I'm sitting at around an 8 because of the last episode.
It boosted it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 7.
Again, I knew you guys wouldn't like. For me, I had different reactions because, again, everything about the show is everything I love.
Yeah, it fits into your favorite.
And if this is the stuff that you love, then I'm sure that everyone who loves this type of stuff, love this show. Like,
Yeah, and at least it does a lot of stuff. It does a lot right and it does a lot wrong, but it's better than just doing a little bit right and just nothing else.
Yeah, that's very true. It explores. It explores all over the place.
Okay, and then moving on from Samurai Flamenco, because that was a really long, really in-depth discussion that actually went a lot deeper than our previous ones, because there's kind of theories and stuff we have to
You
talk
also
about.
looped and repeated about 1 million times, but whatever.
No, but that's
It
the cool,
works
but
out.
that's the part about that show is kind of loops. Okay. What have you guys been watching, reading?
We've all been watching the same thing as each other. Well, okay.
We'll get into that in like another 10 minutes or so.
Besides watching pilots for this season,
Yes.
which we're not going to talk about because we will talk about in a second, I honestly haven't watched anything else besides played a bit of Persona 4.
Yeah. That
That's
counts as
what
anime. That counts as anime.
I'm gonna count that as anime.
Yeah,
So,
you walked up to me, he's like, hey, can I borrow your Vita? And I was like, yeah, sure, here, take it. I'm not using
yeah,
it.
I was really feeling.
And it's
the
not that I
need
don't
to-
like my Vita. I just...
Sometimes a man needs a Vita and some Persona 4.
Dude, that's why I got that Vita. There's only one reason I bought that Vita in the first place.
For Persona 4. I've been planning on. I'm seriously considering getting my own at this point. I
It's
just have
such
to
a
pay
great-
off my
Your
3DS first to Connor over here.
You're watching a bit of Yu Yu Hakusho at some point.
Yeah, I
Yeah, how's that
fast-forwarded
going?
through the first 10 episodes. And by fast-forward, I mean, with sound, it's the YouTube fast-forward function thing. I mean, it's not hard at all to follow it and fast-forward.
What's a shonen?
It's so slow.
It's a shonen. You really could just go, okay, fight, level up, fight, level up, fight, level up. Like, there's very few shonens that I could think of that, like, you kind of should watch parts of, and you still, like One Piece is one of them, where, I mean, it starts off that way, but then it gets kind of more intricate towards the end.
Or the opposite, Attack on Titan, which starts off super fast.
And it goes super slow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and then it goes super fast the minute, like, the anime ends. Season 2, finally people will be on board.
Season 2's coming.
Oh my god, I can't
Eren
wait for...
Yeager's a shit. Sorry.
Huh?
Oh, that's amazing.
Eren Yeager sucks.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. Historia is the best character, and you guys don't even know who Historia is yet. I love that. Like,
Hasn't even
I was
shown up.
reading a thread on Reddit where somebody goes, what's a character that like is amazing in manga, but like the anime has never gotten to that part of the adaptation, so they didn't, like, you just didn't get to them, and so you don't think how amazing they are.
Dude,
And,
I can name so many Index characters that
I
fit
can name
that bill.
so many Negima characters too.
I think most animated manga things.
I think you can name off every Berserk character.
Oh, pretty much. But I wasn't gonna say that.
But like one of them was Historia. Everyone's like, wow, everyone's seen Historia, but no one knows who Historia is. It's great. Hey, I'm talking about Index. Hey, no season 3 yet.
No season 3 yet. That's not old news though. And
That was such a weird article to read where the guy literally was apologizing. Like, I'm sorry.
he's such a cool writer. Like, he's one of the fastest like light novel writers out there too. Like when I think it was the second season of Index started. By the time it finished, I believe, he'd already finished all of Indexed and was on his way to writing New Testament.
Oh, New Testament.
Yeah. So
Does he also write Railgun too?
he writes the story for Railgun.
And then someone else
he
draws.
writes the story for a certain scientific accelerator. He writes the.
But someone
he does
else-
the side stories for Index.
But
He's
someone
writing
else
New Testament.
draws it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he doesn't draw it. He's not
Okay.
an artist. So he's.
Well, yeah, he went into light novels for a reason.
Yeah, he writes. He does not draw, but he's a really cool dude.
Anything else
No.
before we get this ball rolling?
Let's shotgun this shit. as soon as we
Okay, and fall 2015, the season has started.
Yay! Things are looking very interesting
Dude,
at this
yeah.
point.
I
It's
thought summer season had was interesting.
From what I've heard, this is like one of the best. Well, it was one of the best summer seasons like in a long
Oh
time.
my god, it was like everyone was saying that, and I agree wholeheartedly. But
But that's because it didn't have competition. I also heard.
really,
Yeah, apparently like summers are usually kind of shitty seasons.
no. The thing about the summer season though is that a lot of original shows came out. A lot of original shows came out, and sequels to good shows came out.
Yeah.
So because of that, summer season was super strong
Mhm.
because there's not stuff like Gate came out.
Yeah, but fall season's usually when like stuff comes out. So
But no, for fall season, there's so many sequels,
yeah,
and that's that's a kind of an
that's just
issue.
Us as a whole, the world as a whole is kind of obsessed with
Also-
sequels.
Also, not
Yeah.
only that, but there was only one Magic High School anime in the summer.
That we watched.
No, that I know of.
I can't even think of one that Spring had.
Yeah, summer had one. Summer had one.
I'm pretty sure
And
Spring
then
didn't, unless
fall-
I'm thinking wrong. Spring
I'll look over this.
didn't have
I'll look over spring
a
at
high
some point,
school
but
magical anime.
fall has three. Fall has three, and we'll get to
Fall,
that.
yeah, Fall has
Sort of.
3,
2.
2.5.
more 2.
2.5.
So first off, we'll start with my lolly. My lolly.
Yeah. Hey, get close.
This is, I believe someone calls it like White Knight Syndrome, but the actual name is the Lance and Masks.
Yeah, Lass and Masks. Okay, you didn't watch the second episode yet.
I have
And
not
you will
watched the
not.
second
You
episode
will not
yet.
watch the second
I'm
It
episode.
gets
not-
weird in the second episode.
Oh,
but-
dude, I'm conflicted now. I'm super conflicted because I thought I knew this anime was gonna be ridiculous. Was gonna be the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
Like I thought, I put it up to Kusen Midoshi Kusen of the season,
yeah.
and then I watched the second episode, and now I'm conflicted. I go, what is this anime doing?
It actually might be interesting.
It took a turn that you didn't expect.
Okay.
Even though the plot was, or the pilot was everything we expected, it was so, I don't know. A lot of people liked it, but I found it really boring because
So-
you could predict everything that was
So
happening.
basically,
Minus the talking
Lance and
horse.
Mask is an anime where basically this guy grew up as a knight, and he's a lancer, and he's in the real world walking around, and he has White Knight Syndrome, which means every single time he sees a damsel in distress, he has to save her.
And most of the time, it's pretty damn creepy.
Yes.
They don't play on it that much.
They play on it once.
They play on it
They
once.
just go, eek,
Yeah,
pervert. It's like, eh.
yeah.
But even with the second episode, because the second episode, he literally is kidnapping people, getting beaten up, and there's a moment where the main character gets whooped. Like, literally, he goes to fight a dude, and then the dude literally, like, grabs his lance and breaks it in half. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I should really be. No. You know what? It's premieres.
That's spoilers, though. You didn't let me say the thing about the lolly.
Okay.
Slice of life.
Okay. I will hold off on spoilers, but just understand that literally
Well,
Mario.
don't spoil second episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mainly.
Let's just say that somebody walked in and went, "Wow, this kind of looks like Kill la Kill," and I was like, "I can't. I have to agree with you."
Huh.
And I went, "What is going on with this anime? I don't know."
Next.
So. Do we recommend people to watch this?
I don't.
No.
Who knows? But I'm not gonna watch it.
I'm saying if you're masochistic, maybe like I kind of am.
I don't know. I hear people are excited for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
people like it.
It possibly could be interesting,
If you like
but
the cute lolly girls doing cute things in their own mansion.
I don't think that's what it's gonna be, though.
But it totally is.
It didn't look like it was gonna be that.
Yeah, there's a lolly in there, and it got creepy.
Did it?
If you want to see a bunch of tropes at once, totally watch it. Also, it does look like it changes a bit in the second episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking for like a surprise show that not a lot of people are gonna watch,
Maybe this could go places.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea, but I'm not gonna
From
watch
the first episode, you're not gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it masochistically, and you might peer over my shoulder every now and then. Next up, Noragami Season 2.
Yeah, is this our only Season 2 that we're talking about?
Yes.
Because
I have not seen
watched.
Shima no Burst, I have not watched K, and I haven't seen Hino no Aria.
Yeah.
Which
And I have
forgot
yet to
mention.
watch Yuri Yuri.
I forgot to mention in the previous segment, not only did I watch Higurashi.
Oh, we haven't watched the Monogatari series either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you like that. I'll
But-
get around to it.
Not only did I watch Higurashi, I watched all of Noragami in like one day. I heard, basically, this is awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
This is, if you haven't seen Noragami yet, watch Noragami.
soundtrack is nice.
The
Yes.
soundtrack is really good. It's kind of, for me, what it was watching it is I felt like it was the same way I found Death Parade to just be universally good. I found this to be universally
Well
good.
received.
Yeah. It's not the top of its class,
But like,
but what it does, it's totally doing well.
yeah, I mean, I got very much Air Gear kind of vibes from it and stuff like that, and the way the animation style constantly changes from serious to like goofy
Silly.
looking. The reason why I picked this up is I heard that second opening and went, "Oh, I gotta watch this now."
I've
And-
been trying to get you guys to watch Noragami for a while.
And then I sat down and I watched all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, the other one's Owari no Seraph.
Owari no Seraph. Oh yeah, second season of that. I've read the manga, but I couldn't watch the anime.
But yes,
spring.
second season looks very promising.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I
It-
mean,
it
if
has
you've
to-
watched the first season, I'm assuming you're gonna want to watch the second.
And if you
season.
haven't watched the first season, watch the second season. Watch the first season and then watch the second season because
Yeah.
it looks like it's about to go to some really interesting places.
It's got one of my top. It's the battle track for when they're having battles in that is in my top 3 battle tracks of
Also,
any anime.
if you go from previous season, Hajime from Gatchaman Crowds is the female lead, and Izaya is the is the male lead.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Oh.
Izaya is the male lead.
I never noticed.
Yeah, it's the best. Next up is something really that none of us expected that we would laugh so hard at until we decided to click on it. And it's a short called Kagewani.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Best animation ever.
10 out of 10. Gonna be the number 1 for the season. But in all seriousness here, this is like a really weird 8-minute short that's got this really strange, almost cutout-like animation.
It's like some shows you'd see on maybe like Nickelodeon. Like it was like Pepper Ann or some weird shit like that.
Oh yeah, the
thing they showed before the Digimon movie.
Oh, the Pepper the Pig.
No, not Peppa the Pig.
Oh, okay, something
Not Peppa Pig.
back when we were younger.
Yeah, it was this weird shit. But anyways, like a lot of sort of Western cartoons.
I kind of think of it like old South Park, but with better like
yeah,
drawings.
it's definitely like a clipping. Like
Yeah, it's like things have been clipped out and taken pictures of
or
over
at least
other
that's what
things.
they're trying to make it look like.
But so
Yeah.
what
Could be
this
Flash. I'm
what
not
this
sure.
looks
I
like,
have
this
no
anime
idea.
is basically about a professor going after the supernatural, and it looks
Yeah.
it looks really like.
No, it was Angela
It's-
Anaconda, not Pepper Ann.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah. Imagine Indiana Jones is in Japan and going after supernatural monsters
In Japan.
instead of trying to find treasure.
Yeah, and
But we don't even know that though.
But that first.
Yeah,
episode-
we've hardly seen him, but
Honestly,
I'm pretty
you
sure
see
that's
a,
what it's
a
going to be
different
like.
group. You see people who aren't the main cast.
Honestly, that first episode had us laughing.
Yeah, it's
If-
just such a weird thing
If you
to
want,
watch.
yeah, I didn't
thought
expect this to be like a comedy, but it
It was a
probably
little bit
isn't.
gory and stuff.
But
But
if you want something to laugh at, do it.
that's supposed to
Yeah,
be
I don't
scary.
know. I don't know if you were supposed to laugh at that. I honestly can't tell if that was the intention or not. But I just
you
found
you were laughing at the animation, was it?
I was laughing at the animation mainly. It was just so
That
silly.
moment where they start
I wasn't
shooting
expecting it at
shooting
all.
the anime from the camera point of view.
Yeah. Just it's 8 minutes of your time.
Yeah,
Watch it, and if you
Yeah,
find
you
it
know
as
what?
hilarious
That's
as I did,
that's another on the recommended list.
It's so
Um,
bad it's good.
so bad it's good. I would recommend
And
watching
next
it
up
just to
is
see.
Heavy Object. I can't say anything much about this one right now.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Exposition.
Yeah.
Exposition.
we got a lot of exposition. We'll see where Heavy Object goes.
You're excited.
I'm
about Heavy
interested. Well, it was the guy who wrote Index and Railgun. I believe this is his work that he wrote before he wrote those. And he even in the beginning of Index, like reading the earlier Index light novels, he's not the best writer. Like he really doesn't evolve till later, and especially if this has been written before, it's probably not going to be the best written thing in the world. But I'm really interested to watch
To
something.
see humble beginnings.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like
c-
this is a guy who I really like his later stuff, so I want to see
Where he started
what he did earlier.
It's like
and
it's
I
like-
don't feel like reading it.
It's like going through Ken Akamatsu stuff and go, I guess I could read Love Hina.
Yeah, I might as well just.
I read Negima. I read the. I might as well read Love Hina.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm interested in it. It doesn't look amazing. It's definitely not going to be like top of the season or anything. But
are you
I'm
kidding me?
excited
'Cause
to watch it.
It's one of. It could be. It's like one of the pillars. Like one of the most.
I mean, I think it's one of the ones a lot of people are watching, but I don't think it's going to
the
end up
5
being
pillars-
considered one of the
Okay.
best.
Yeah, but I think the 5 pillars this season again is Heavy Object, and then the 4 that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Because literally, I mean, Heavy Object less, because if you look at most people's lists, the 4 that people are watching are the 4 that Utaremono, Perfect Insider, the Sakura-san, and One Punch Man. Like,
Also,
that's
if you
literally everyone's
include second seasons, the new
Naruto.
Monogatari
Oh, yeah.
season is probably up there too, I'd say.
But Heavy Object looks, I don't know, it kind of hooked me in because, not hooked me in, but it kept my interest because the promise of Metal Gear is true in this. Connor, what do you think?
It was okay.
I remember you were drawing, and there's so much exposition.
No, I mean, I feel like you kind of said there was going to be 2 main characters, but I really only saw the long-haired character getting much
a lot
attention.
of time.
Yeah.
But I don't like Liquid, I like Solid better. Not kidding.
Yeah, I found him to be the more interesting of the 2.
I just like that moment where he goes after the deer and just, like, fails.
Yeah.
These are homing bullets, how do you fail?
How do you miss with homing bullets?
Okay.
Who knows?
Next up, this is a list on how we watched it, like the order we watched it. So,
Yeah.
next up is called Utoremono. Again, I might have just butchered that. And basically, again, like I said earlier, this is one that's on like the watches of many people's lists.
We have no idea how it's going to go.
We don't know what this anime is about.
This is very weird. It's apparently based off of a
Visual,
Yeah,
visual
a
novel.
visual
I
novel?
think so.
and
It's like Spice and Wolf, but with monster fighting.
yeah, it was definitely giving off Spice and Wolf vibes to me.
Uh-huh.
I highly doubt it will be as good as Spice and Wolf,
There's
but
a little bit of Farmville in there, too.
a little Farmville. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a super lazy main character with amnesia, which is a
Interesting.
really weird
combo.
but it's
Also, he's been thrown into a different universe.
yeah.
We think.
Well,
We
I
think.
mean, you'd assume he has amnesia, so like,
It's weird.
how
he,
can
he,
you?
he comes out wearing like this kind of plasticky patient suit.
Yeah,
he
it looks
doesn't
like he was just in the
understand,
hospital.
like the people or why they have tails and ears and stuff. So it's pretty easy to assume he's in a different universe.
Yeah, it's very strange. It looks like it could be interesting. This is one I'm definitely gonna have to reserve my judge or
yeah.
reserve
I mean, I was
judgment
thinking
on.
about it earlier. I'll call you up and we'll just watch this one together. See what the second episode has in store.
Exactly.
Next up are the two that we consider the
these
same
need to
anime.
be talked about together because they're practically the same.
The only reason why we're saying it generically, that they're generic, is literally when you watch two shows back to back, and the first episode's the same. Yes, it could change in later. It most likely will be different later on and will diverge differently. But right now, for our initial predictions, it's just Gakusen Asterisk and Rukudai Kishi no Cavalry. Basically are two shows that are the same thing.
It's a what was it? It's a fantasy high school. New character comes in, walks in on the girl changing. She gets mad because of some random reason. Well, not a random reason. Because of basically the plot of the show, the school has battles. So they decide to do a battle. The guy beats the girl for some bullshit reason that they were hiding from you from the beginning, but will be the plot of the show as well.
Because both girls are apparently top of their class.
Yes.
And Gakutoshi or Asterisk, she's like one of the head students, and he just like magically goes through the fire.
And then things get a little bit better for the character as the show ends. The few differences is in the first one, in Asterisk, the cameraman's a total fucking pervert. Another similarity is they both have friends with cameras, which is really weird. Or like you have a friend with a camera and then a random girl with a camera who appear. Both have the same color hair. Both seem to have the same demeanor, and both only show up during the battle. What else do we have?
Oh, best friend character shows up.
Yeah,
knows everything. But I mean, the best way to explain these two is like there's three. There's three that are very similar. I prefer the third one better than the other two. But out of these two, I prefer Cavalry way more than Asterisk. Because there's something about the animation style in Cavalry and the plots, that it looks like it's going somewhere.
Well, yeah, in Asterisk, they're basically fighting with really funky-looking lightsabers, whereas...
They actually use real weapons.
They use real weapons in Cavalry.
Soul weapons.
Yeah, the absolute duo style.
And the ending of Cavalry makes you think this is actually going to go a little bit, way far away from where we started.
Yeah, because what I've heard about how these diverge, these two diverge really differently.
Yeah, it's just interesting because they both started off with
basically
almost the exact same
to the point
episode.
Where main girl character has fire powers. Okay,
yeah,
they're the princess. Okay,
they're following a transfer student. Yeah. Okay,
but it's like it's like you take a visual novel, and on one path you get along with the person you were just fighting. On the other path, you leave them and start talking to the student council president instead. Which
is basically exactly. But you get I'm not gonna recommend these, but I'm gonna keep watching them.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to watch them side by side just to compare these two very similar,
thing I'm excited for
possibly different things.
I want to see how the community reacts and see how each person is kind of taking these two and kind of watching them back to back and being like, this one did this differently, and just kind of see the differences as you go through it. I mean, I'm just going to give a heads up. I'm going to keep saying this for every anime here. I'm going to keep watching all of these because I'm kind of masochistic that way.
Yeah, I'm probably
You're not
going to keep up with either of these. They're not interesting enough for me for it to be worth it, but it was interesting to see those first two episodes side by side.
I'm going to guess you're the same, Connor.
Yeah.
I mean, I might force you to watch it at some point.
It's fine. I'll watch it over your shoulder. So next we have Young Blackjack. This show does not seem hide at all that the fact that it's an older manga is sort of the way it's...
Dude, I saw that previous animation. I looked it up. It's weird.
Yeah, it's you see these characters that they're going to be showing later, or I guess just the ones you saw through the show.
Those are actually characters that are going to be in the season, because a lot of those characters aren't in the source.
And they look like Disney, old-fashioned Disney characters.
I think I was kind of comparing it to Detective Conan. Case closed.
But that's because a lot of people said the top person or the kind of father of anime got a lot of his inspiration from Walt Disney and Disney cartoons, which kind of shows that's how I kind of see its age. And also, it's not really trying to go for any big twists. It's kind of just presenting itself as it is. This is kind of like a manga you would read when you were in like the 90s, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like a very old style thing. Like you could tell from the animation quality to the story to the characters that it seems like this was this was written a long time ago.
Yeah, for me it was just a huge shot out of left field. Like I just wasn't expecting anything about this.
Remember, you followed up those 3 anime, and then we ended that night with this.
Yeah, it's just very weird. It's
a dude doing surgeries.
Yeah, it's a guy that looks like Dr. Stein from Soul Eater,
who's basically Dr. House.
Who? Oh, he's not.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, he has his friend who's Dr. Housey, but
he looks like Dr.
Yeah.
Who are doctor who's scared of blood? Anyway.
Who knows? Yeah, there's a doctor who's scared of blood, but
no, he's a surgeon.
A surgeon who's scared of blood.
That's the twist on him. I don't know.
It's kind of strange, but it's just a really weird show. I mean, maybe this is a prequel, right? I feel like maybe I would understand better if I had watched the original.
I mean, people are saying that you didn't have to, but you know.
Yeah, it's just a very weird show for me. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be as it was.
I can't recommend this one either.
I mean, if you like doctor shows and you want sort of like a cute, like, husband caricature, you know?
Yeah, watch it.
Like, go ahead and try it. Try the first episode, see if you like it.
Yeah. Next up is One Punch!
No, calm down.
One Punch Man.
And I mean, if you've been reading the manga, you're already
super hyped for this.
If you know anything about the fall season, you're watching One Punch Man. Like,
hopefully.
Most people who know about the fall season
have at least heard of this.
Are watching One Punch Man, and we watched this episode like a month ago. So
we've been following the manga for a long time.
And
so
not only that, but we saw the leaked first episode, quote unquote leaked, like a month ago. So I mean,
it's good.
Just watch One Punch Man.
Yeah,
I'm ready for the second one already.
Yeah,
One Punch Man is great. The source material is great. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
Just watch.
Highly suggested.
The original source material was a webcomic, and then they got a person who
actually draws.
Who draws for like yaoi stuff to basically draw all the characters and like all the settings really nice. So basically, they took the pure story, and then they took a different artist and said, "Yo, make this story pretty." And that was the manga, and now they're taking that manga and making it into an anime. So it's pretty nice.
Next up is the Sunday, which was the Saturday of last season, is now moved to Sunday. Like last season, Saturday was Gatchaman Crowds, Charlotte, Roku no Yusha, Durahara working, like Shimonetta. That was the lineup for last season Saturday.
Yeah.
That moved to Sunday because we have Mobile Suit Gundam, Komori-san, Comet Lucifer, Concrete Revolution, and was there another one that came out? And One Punch Man. Yeah.
And One Punch was on that day too.
So they moved the Saturday, all the good ones to Sunday. No.
Yeah. I haven't watched Gundam. I'm probably not going to watch Gundam. I'm going to let these two talk about it.
What did you... Okay, for me, I've watched Gundam 1. That's all. How about your previous experiences with Gundam?
I mean, I watched like an episode of Seed when I was 10. I don't know.
But basically, we weren't actually planning on watching this.
We're very inexperienced with Gundam, so we don't actually know like what's good in Gundam standards. But as this show goes,
that was a really good first episode.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you would expect. You know, you'd probably think,
you would think heavy arms and like tall geese from Gundam
it's like,
Wing.
oh no, you have this new character and he's totally like a rookie or he's totally an edgelord. And everyone's like, no, you can't get in the mech. The mech's only for, like, the super strong person, but he got sick. So then he gets in the mech and beats him. It's totally not that. This guy's completely different from anything like that.
Yeah, you start off with child soldiers and basically walker gears.
It's like the Band of the Hawk with mechs. It's great.
Yeah. and then the one guy who's the experienced mecha pilot gets in the mech and you go, yeah, do it.
This is the person who should be in the mech.
Just do it. And he does it. And it's just like... From what I've heard is that this is a promising Gundam. Like, this already starts promising. And, like, a lot of people are hyped up about it.
Also, this also looks like a Disney character. The main character looks like Mickey Mouse to me.
I did not expect to enjoy this, and I'm now interested in Gundam again. How about you?
I had a lot of fun. I'm glad they didn't just have a bunch of humanoid robots fighting. They had they were just guns on wheels.
Yeah, and you're thinking
which is a very efficient design for a robot.
And you're thinking of watching more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, check this out. This was beyond our expectations. From no expectations
We
to
don't like mechas or I don't like mechas.
You don't like
that much.
mechas, and I didn't even think of watching Gundam because I saw Gundam and I was like, I don't know, I'm not a Gundam fan. And then we watched it, and oh my god, that was great.
It's pretty good.
Highly suggest that pilot. Next is the 2-minute anime, which is really sad because I heard it's actually pretty characters focused and story focused, and it's only 2 minutes. Komori-san, Komori-san can't say no or something.
Yeah. This is very weird. Every other short I've watched
It's
is
3
either
minutes.
3 minutes or 8 minutes. It's one of the two. And this is 2 minutes. And I don't think 2 minutes is enough time for a
3
short.
minutes isn't not enough already?
3 minutes is, like, perfect for a short to be a short. If it's a good short, like, you can get a good little quick plot line in there and resolve it within that time. And it feels complete. And 2 minutes just is not enough. Plus,
I'm almost certain that we're about to talk about the show for about the length of 2 minutes.
yeah, it
started,
work.
and then it ended. And then it's just like, okay.
It was
And
very
the show
abrupt.
itself?
The show itself, I don't...
typical. And
Yeah.
Did you laugh at the joke? Was it like...
I did not laugh at the joke.
Did you
It
find
was
charming?
definitely more ecchi than it should be. I see no
Apparently-
reason to keep watching.
That pissed people off.
Besides
from
the
there.
fact that it's only 2 minutes,
Apparently
and I
it's
might
not
as
even
well.
ecchi, though. Like, apparently, like, even the source material is not even an ecchi.
Which
They're
is...
just like, let's make the boobs big and jiggly.
Well, they are big and jiggly in the... Like, they're not jiggly in the manga, but they're big. And that's only because, from what I heard, is that she drinks a lot of milk. That's all. Like...
They're just playing off of that trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's 2 minutes. I'm going to keep watching that. I might start reading the source material because everyone's saying how the source material is pretty good. So I might read it and see.
Yeah.
As much as it's bad that it's 2 minutes, I might actually watch it because it's 2
2 minutes?
It's only 2 minutes out of my time.
Yeah, I mean, you could... Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like watching shorts, and it's hard to find older shorts.
So watch Gekon Shoujo instead out of 10.
Dude, always watch
It's
Gekon Shoujo
out of
instead.
10. Next up is... Oh yeah, that was about 2 minutes too. Next up is Comet Lucifer.
Which one is it? Oh, it's the...
This is the girl in the crystal one. And this piqued your interest, Austin.
This, I was not... I
We
didn't
were-
know
okay.
what I expected from this one.
I didn't
Sunday-
expect
But it
the scooter
wasn't
to go
this.
flying into the
Okay.
sunset.
This is what I'm going to have to say. Sunday took us all by surprise. None of us expected Sunday to be as good
But
as
it
was.
wasn't Comet Lucifer that did it for me. I don't know.
I know, but it's
I
still...
feel like I've seen this before, and I'm sure you will have seen this before.
But
it
the
was done
moment
well. It
where,
was
like,
pretty.
the moment where, like, you thought you know what was going to happen, and then it wasn't the thing that you knew was happening. And then you're like, wait, there's mecha involved? Wait, is that Simone? Like, what am I watching?
It's just really weird. There's, like, the main character has, like, half of Simone's goggles from Gurren, and...
He's
has a
basically a digger.
Yeah, he's basically a digger. He has a very interesting character design. He finds a girl with a white hair and a rock. He's very similar to Simone from Gurren, but it still just seems to be a very interesting show. They packed a lot into one initial pilot episode. Like, I feel out of almost all the things we've
so
seen,
much.
that's the one that I felt like I watched at least 2 episodes worth of in that one episode.
So you're gonna keep watching.
I'm definitely gonna keep watching.
I'm gonna keep watching.
It's pretty too.
It's
I
really
like
pretty.
things that are pretty. This is definitely pretty.
And you're gonna end up keep watching anyway. And
You're
then
gonna not stop talking about it. And
Huh?
now we move on to the space dandy of the season, Concrete Revolution.
okay, I don't think it's space dandy, but I think
It's fucking wild.
it's nuts. It's wild. It's weird storytelling,
It's like-
which I love. I love weird storytelling.
The aesthetic I got it from it is like it's an old timey diner where you get like milkshakes and burgers and stuff. That's like what every character seemed to have walked out of, in my opinion.
Mm.
But
I mean,
like,
that's where they started the show, basically.
no,
too.
I know, but like all the attire and stuff sort of came from that. Even the like monster designs came from like old fashioned whatever time.
Like, dude, From
movie
what I was
posters.
reading is like you take Marvel, DC, add in like Kill la Kill, like inject like Samurai Flamenco and like
and give it the butchered story
of Kekai
Bakugo.
Sensen. Oh, and that too, and Baku.
Yeah, starting off with beginning scenes and ending scenes together, it seems somewhat similar to Kekai Sensen
I've not
in
seen
some
that,
ways
but,
too, from what I've seen of that.
I'm really interested to see where this goes. Like, it was a wild ride from
I
start
hope
to
they
beginning.
don't fuck it up. Is all I can say. I
Yeah.
really want it to be good.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is week 1. there's still 12 more weeks for some 25, but
This is like my second priority behind One Punch. And
One
then
Punch!
And then maybe Gundam.
And then like that really interesting one we watched today with a really good opening. Next, let's go away from Sunday to Wednesday. Sakura-san no Ashimoto. There's a lot of weird translations for this.
Okay.
Lovely Bones, Sakura-san.
Yeah, it was like someone's investigation, Lovely Bones. My favorite translation
Was the skull underneath the cherry tree?
is
The girl who can solve a murder in 2 seconds.
There's bones buried underneath Sakura's feet.
Yeah, that's
or something like that.
And this
I
is
forget
really,
the exact specifics, but
again, this is I feel like this season got jam-packed with, let's put a budget in all of our animes.
yeah, this it's really high quality animation.
Let's say that we have Comet Lucifer, we have Sakura-san, One Punch Man, and like a couple others maybe.
What's the one we watched today?
Perfect Insider.
Yeah, Perfect Insider.
All of them are like jam-packed with beautiful animations.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I'm just going to say right off the bat here about Sakurako-san is that it's doing a lot of interesting things with camera work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not sure what the source material for this is in, but it slips into a first-person perspective. Like, it did it multiple times throughout the episode, which I honestly haven't seen a lot of recently, or much at all in anime and the things I've watched, and I just thought it was a really cool thing to do.
It's a light novel.
I don't know. It was interesting, and I totally wasn't expecting it when it did it. Plus, its art style is pretty unique,
it's really pretty. It's really pretty, and it's a light novel.
Okay, it's a light novel, which I was assuming it was.
There's a lot of light novel adaptations this season.
There's always a lot of light novel adaptations
because no one wants them.
Quick critique: I feel like they told more than they needed to.
Yeah, you were telling me you should have show than tell.
Yeah.
But again, light novel. Almost done. Today we watched 2 of them, and that was Taimoden Gasun 35, or the translation to that roughly goes to Anti-Magic High School, I think. I was going to look it up.
The Anti-Magic High School.
It's the edgy anime of the season.
It's the edgy generic anime of the season that actually hooked me in more than the other 2 generic animes.
Yeah.
Dude, when you start off...
mechas a lot more than I do, that's all I can say.
But there was not really mecha in this one.
It was like one mecha.
There was one mecha, but there were so many cool fight scenes, more than the fight scenes in the other 2.
Despite how seemingly generic it felt throughout most of it, it was able to put 2 completely separate fight scenes into one episode, and it didn't feel completely awkward about doing it. It definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be amazing, but it could definitely be entertaining to watch.
You're kind of interested.
I'm debating whether I'm going to keep watching this one or not.
The translation is Anti-Magic Academy 35th Test Platoon. Okay, and yeah, I totally agree. Like, I don't know, when you start off the anime with, your character is about to die, how do we get here? Let's see, how did we get here?
Yeah.
And then when you have the cool scenes of them using the swords and him cutting bullets, and then the shooter, and then the mecha coming out, and like the cool maneuvers around it, I was like, okay, I'm in.
They were really interesting looking fight scenes, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean,
so we'll see.
If you're going, like, a lot of people were complaining, like, wow, I can't believe the fan service. This is an eki.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into.
If a show's an eki, expect it to be an eki.
Yeah.
Moral of the story here.
Yeah. I mean, if it said, like, serious action comedy and nothing about eki, then you should feel betrayed.
Yeah.
But it's an eki.
Eki's gonna be eki. Don't fight it.
So now we go to what we
it.
just watched, like literally right before we started recording. Perfect Insider. What a great opening!
Dude, oh yeah.
And the ending was, like, the animations are just beautiful.
When we were saying the A team worked on the
opening and the ending animation.
And then the B team was for the actual anime, the C team was for the cleanup, and then the D team's working on Asterisk.
Yeah, this is by A1 Studios. They've done a lot of cool stuff, a lot of beautiful things. Yurlai in April.
We just talked about one last week, Working.
They've done a lot of really cool stuff, and this was just phenomenally beautiful. Like, the light work was really well done, the atmosphere, the character designs are interesting, the art style is interesting. There's a lot of attention to detail, and I'm really excited to just watch this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mystery, so we'll see how.
Well, apparently from the plot is next episode. If they get to the island next episode,
Yeah.
we don't know. They could be like Roku no Yusha, where it takes 5 episodes to get to the mystery.
Yeah.
But once they get into the mystery of like, there's a dead body, who did it? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like so fully
Just
in.
based on like the grungy kind of looking guy and like the ghostly looking girl, this seems like it's gonna be sort of a cult classic anime. I don't know. That just seems like the thing to me.
For some reason, this is like what I've seen is it's on a lot of people's radars right now. Like comparative to others, because again, I started this season. When I was looking at animes, there's 4 animes that I'm looking for. This One Punch Man, Ultramono, Sakura-san, and this one.
Yeah, I don't know. It reminds me of like a 90s seinen kind of thing or 80s seinen.
Well, it's a seinen, so
yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh, I almost forgot. What really got me is the ending had like a not so subtle reference to Conway's Game of Life.
Yeah.
Which I freaked out over. I don't know why.
Dude, that whole ending is just programming.
Yeah.
You looked at it and it's like, this is literally...
It's all just Conway's Game
I'm kind of interested because as programmers, we literally were like, there's a lot of programming in this.
Well, that's what the creepy ghost girl is supposed to be. She's like a computer engineer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is very interesting.
What's up? They don't Big Bang Theory it too much.
It looks serious. It didn't say comedy. Okay, if
I'm hacking into his computer.
Yeah, it kind of had realistic computers.
I know. If they do that, though, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah, they had a
like just
realistic
slamming on
desktop.
the keyboard and go.
That was interesting.
No.
Yeah, so we'll see how the actual plot of this one
Yeah.
goes, but for right now, I'm highly interested, and
Let's
it
see.
looks really nice.
From what we could suggest, we have... I forgot to keep a tally. Now I'm going to look at it now. No... somebody count this for me.
Okay.
Yes.
1, 2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4,
No. Yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Not really. No. Yes.
7,
Yes. Yes.
11.
So 11 that
I'd
we
say-
would definitely suggest.
11 we would definitely
I was
suggest.
watching the pilot.
Yeah, from watching the pilot, I'm going to keep watching all of them, including, I'm going to add Valkyrie Drive when that comes out on Saturday, and that Eki made one that I'm really excited. For some reason, I'm like, they've been holding this off for a couple of days now, and I'm just like, I wonder who's going to pick this up. I hope it's Kami subs.
Dude, Kami who knows what Kami's gonna end up subbing. I just want to watch it to watch Kami subs.
Well, it's Republican subs
They're
now.
so bad. It's great.
But the only thing that I'm going to be disappointed about the season is when it ends. If like the 11 that we just named end up being like great, a lot of them are light novels. Meaning, if I wanted to look at the source material and keep going, I can't.
Yeah.
Or we can't.
Because a lot of light novels don't get translated.
Yeah. They get fan translated.
Some do.
Yeah.
Not even I mean,
You're
you
looking
get
for-
less light novel fan translations
Let's
than
see
you
if they
do
finish
manga
Rogue
fan
One.
translations
Yeah.
or other shit like that.
But this season's actually, when I was during the summer, I looked at the fall season going like, man, I don't know about this season. It doesn't look as great as how summer season. This is shaping up to be really good.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued.
Again,
There's a
we're
lot
going to
I
have to
wanna
see
watch.
how it goes around. Like, I'm going to give it about episode 5 or 6, about where I feel like things will start picking up for everything, because that's a usual rule of thumb.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. And I'm going to try to get you to watch as many as you can. You're going to watch whatever you want.
Yeah.
Remind me when the good ones come on.
Oh, I'll make sure they're... Yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, fall season seems pretty good. Any other thoughts?
I'm excited, and besides that, I don't have much else to add.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for listening again.
Thank you, and good night.
Goodbye.